Man. So show some love, my homeboy and yours, Mr. Kahn Davison. A Cafe Mahogany original right here. We talk about mahogany. This brother is Cafe Mahogany right here.
My grandfather never spoke one note out of tune against my father. During his last 179 days, I watched cancer from my grandfather's southern soul like acid being poured on the moon, unfolding his almost 80 years of hard-fought manhood every 10 seconds, as if Father Time had given up on him. And you know what? It was more beautiful than it was sad, because what was sad was the way my own father fingered the trigger of a sawed-off shotgun, letting that dark, erotic blackness of that barrel seduce him into thinking that death was his utopia. And my father had his issues. And I'd be lying if I told you I thought more about growing old than making love raw to one of hell's angels. So while some say that suicide is selfish and self-serving, I tell them never to judge a man's nightmares and visions until you've tasted the blood and saliva on his shielding sword, till you've sweated his battles and choked on his dirt. My grandfather never spoke one note out of tune against my father. You see, my grandfather knew that all men were composed a little differently, because some men fighting, some men just try to hold on, and some men just wither like pine trees with roots too tired to run any deeper. He said, Kahn, it's easy. People live life like their favorite song sung badly, because they memorize the good parts and they sing out loud the course, but the real message and meaning to the words of the song, they lip sync poorly, they run through too fast, they don't listen. And maybe my father, maybe he just lived for the hooks and the breakdowns, whatever, listening to the words. So my grandfather would hum Mahalia slow as he drove to church, whistle the blues on his way home from work, and cried Sam Cooke silently when he found my mother's skin buried under my father's fingernails. And at that point, he didn't care if my father didn't hear music, didn't care about hooks and breakdowns. My father took away daddy's little girl. Now, what would you have done? My grandfather never spoke one note out of tune against my father. And so my grandfather's bones brittled and the skin hung from his body like dead leaves on a great oak, I sung. And when his hands that could once fix anything became rotting limbs too feeble to feed himself, I pushed back my tears and I sung louder. And when I see my father's and grandfather's obituaries etched on both sides of the mirror, I'm reminded of who I am, how there will always be reasons to quit, but even more reasons to sing. And when my 6-year-old was a 2-year-old, and I heard her sing Barney for the very, very, very first time, I looked up at the sky and grabbed the clouds with my fists and yelled to God how beautiful life can be when you're listening.